Hello, my name is Isaac, and today I'll be walking you through my script for activity number 19, an introduction to Matlab. First of all, what is Matlab? Matlab is a powerful tool used by engineers and scientists for calculations, data analysis, and visualization. Its biggest strength is how easily it works with matrices and vectors, which are the core of this activity. My script covers a few basic operations like creating a vector, performing calculations with it, making a matrix, and finally building and using a custom function. So now let's take a deeper look into our code and see how Matlab works. Now let's start at the top. First of all, I created a row vector named row_vector, as you can see here. This is just a one-dimensional list of numbers. I defined it to hold the integers from 1 to 10. As you can see in the output, Matlab shows it is a 1 times 10 array, and here we have all the numbers from 1 to 10. Now we'll call the next goal, which was going to find the sum of all the elements in this vector. For this, I used Matlab's built-in sum function, and I pass my row vector, as you can see here, to it, and it returns a total, which will be 55. I stored this result in a variable called x. As you can see, x equals 55. Then we created a 3x3 matrix, which is a two-dimensional array of numbers. I named it array. The syntax is important here. The numbers in each row are separated by spaces, and the semicolon is used to tell Matlab to create a new row. This gives us our 3 rows and 3 columns. Now we're going to run it, and here is our array 3x3. Now we have our next practice. Here I perform a common matrix operation called a transpose. Here we're going to add to the array a apostrophe. The transpose simply flips the matrix or its diagonal, turning the row into columns and columns into rows. In Matlab, you do this easily with a single quote or apostrophe right after the variable name. The output shows the new transport matrix. As you can see, we're going to run the code, and you will see that the rows, the first row became the next column, and the second, the second, and the third, the last one. As you can see, the column changed to rows and the row changed into columns. Now, for the most interesting part, we're going to create a custom function called average. This function is designed to take one input, which I called row vector, which was the one we saw before. Inside the function, it does 3 things. It calculates the total using the sum function, just like we did before. It finds how many elements are in the vector using the length function and stores that in n. And then we're going to call the average function, that it calculates the average by dividing the total by the n and returns this value. To finish, I'll call my new average function and pass it to my original row vector. The function runs and calculates the average of the numbers from 1 to 10, and as you can see, the result is 55. As we saw before, the sum is going to be 55, and 55 divided by 10, that is the total number value, it will be 5.5. To summarize, the script demonstrates the basics of creating vectors and matrices, using built-in Matlab functions for quick calculations and defining our own custom functions to perform a specific and reusable task. These are the fundamental building blocks we can use for much more complex problems. That's all for today, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.